There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Happy Friday, people. Welcome to Marketing Me Live. So today we have 2 schools joining us, City College of Angeles and World City Colleges. So today we have speakers from IQEQ and Makati Medical Center. So before we start, may we invite everyone to join us for the prayer and the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging, pero sa sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisitin, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iibig, pakituwin at araw niya kailan ang may di magtitinig, luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya na pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you for that. So, welcome everyone. By the way, I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. I will be your host today. So, to officially start our session for this afternoon, may we invite Ms. France Shalem S.I. Esquivel, MPA, Campus Manager for WCC Guimba, to give us the opening remarks.
Good day, everyone. It gives me tremendous contentment to be presenting the welcome speech amongst the most esteemed teachers, students, alumni, guests, and speakers. Before we begin this seminar, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this event to make it a success. This would have been impossible without the support of each and everyone present here. I am very excited as we will explore these important topics. Online applications using the resume link, problem solving and decision making, identifying cause of problems and implementing solutions, and building innovative mindset. Ways to deliver results through unconventional ways. This seminar is intended as an opportunity for everyone to learn more about marketing themselves and unleashing their highest potential. My dear attendees, masaya ang araw na ito dahil madaming madadagdag sa atin. Magmula sa paggawa ng resume, maayos na pagdidesisyon, hanggang sa pagkakaroon ng growth mindset. Napaka-bless natin dahil mayroon tayong mga proactive committee na naglatag ng napakagandang programa na ito. Sa speakers at sponsors, maraming salamat. Hindi magiging epektibo ito kung hindi dahil sa inyo. In behalf of World City Colleges, thank you so much. My dear students, ngayong araw at sa mga susunod pa ay marami tayong matututunan. Makinig, makihalubilo, magsulat, at magtanong. I am sure that you will feel enriched with knowledge after the completion of this event. I know everyone will find this seminar highly engaging, fruitful, and beneficial for your future venture. I welcome you all once again to the seminar and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you for that, Ms. France. Now, to represent City College of Angeles, we have Sir J.C. M. Manansala, Head for the Alumni Affairs and Placement Office of City College of Angeles. Sir J.C.
Good afternoon. A warm welcome and thank you for joining this webinar. This event would not be possible without the help of our ever supportive partner, Jobs 180. Again, thank you so much for your usual support. I believe that by participating in this webinar, we are in the right place and at the right time. Together, it has accelerated exchange of ideas and scaling up of good practices. I am especially pleased that the discussion and activities here will equip you with much more information. To our participants, enjoy this wonderful opportunity to learn. To our speakers, thank you so much for sharing your invaluable time and expertise. Again, good afternoon and welcome to this webinar.
Thank you for that, Sir JC. So, on behalf of our team over at jobs180.com, we also would like to thank the respective teams of WCC Guimba and Sir JC of City College of Angeles. So, without your help, this event would not be possible. So, to our audience, please hang on because the attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this event. Ayan. So as usual to our audience, would like to know where you're from. So we're seeing the comments right now. So let me just read through all of the courses. All of the courses that I see. Hello to everyone from BPED, BSNE, Psych, BPED. So I'm not sure of the of the education ata tsaka nursing. Ayan. So hindi ko na mababasa lahat. Okay. So thank you. So now would like you guys, if you haven't done yet, to please comment your course and your name in the comment section. And don't forget to share this video with your friends so they don't miss out on this event. So again, attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. So here's our schedule for this afternoon. We have job applications using the resume link, problem solving and decision making, identifying cause of problems and implementing solutions. This will be discussed by the medical city. And then building an innovative mindset, ways to deliver results through unconventional ways, which will be discussed by IQEQ. So to everyone, here is our first speaker. So our first speaker for this afternoon is Sir Chua. He is the managing director for jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business process, customer service, operations, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, we give you the floor. Please take it away.
Everyone. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number one, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi naman papansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist, is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan. Okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo. Kayo lang may alam yan. At lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo, din 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, 'di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan, okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, 'di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon, interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pero nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay rin ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, 'di ba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pag-process sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, wag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cellphone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for that, Sir Kim. So to our audience, we open the floor to questions. Put your questions in the comment section, and we'll address it to Sir Kim after the second speaker's talk, because that for transparency purposes, that was a recorded talk, and we use it to events. And then later, sasali si Sir Kim for the live Q&A. Okay, so before we do that, I would like to introduce the second speaker. So our second speaker for this afternoon is Princess Jackie Mata, Learning and Development Officer from the Medical City Clinic. She will be discussing problem solving and decision making, identifying cause of problems, and implementing solutions. Ms. Jackie is a licensed professional teacher with over 5 years of experience in several educational institutions. She designed lessons for creative writing and personality development. Currently, she is spearheading the employee well-being program at the Medical City Clinic. Miss Jackie, I was advised you have a short video to play.
Yeah.
Sige, ma'am. Let's try playing the video first.
most working in the medical city is the versatility of being able to do a variety of tasks, a supportive company that realizes employees are their greatest asset, and lastly, working collaboratively with my co-staff for a successful outcome.
Medical City Clinic provides support, learning, and good opportunity to all. Our job can be very challenging at times, but it pushes us and our senses to our full potential. And here at the Medical City Clinic, where patients are partners, we make sure we provide the utmost patient care.
Okay, there you go. Miss Jackie, if you're ready,
Good
can we
afternoon,
see your
Sharon.
screen share, ma'am?
Okay, wait. Allow me to share my screen. All
Okay.
right.
So while you're doing that, ma'am, and also like to greet the audience. So there are people from Techbook ata to. And then CS, BPED. Hello, everyone. Miss Jackie, your deck is up. So I leave it to it. I'll be back for Q&A. Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Jackie.
Thank you so much, Sherry. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. Okay. So, again, good afternoon to all of you watching today, especially to our students from the City College of Angeles and World City Colleges. Again, I am Jackie and I'm from the Medical City Clinic, and I would like to thank you for allowing us to have this time with you this afternoon. So, bago ang lahat, kumusta naman kayo? Ayan, so narinig ko kanina na kayo ay magkakasama ngayon. So good afternoon po sa inyong lahat diyan sa school and of course sa ating mga viewers online. Good afternoon and again, thank you so much for spending this afternoon with us. And today, we're going to talk about and explore on problem solving and decision making, identifying cause of problems and implementing solutions. So, to start, let's first play this simple game called This or That. So, you're just going to type in the chat your answer, kung ano ba yung pipiliin nyo or ano yung preference ninyo. Pero kung hindi natin kayang sagutin sa chat, well, pwede nyong sabihin sa katabi nyo ngayon or just say it to yourself quietly. Okay, so first is, what do you like for today? Gusto nyo ba ng kikiam or kwek-kwek or tokneneng? Ayan. So again, for our viewers online, you may type in your answers in the chat or in the comment section. Okay, next. How about this? So what do you feel like wearing today? If you feel nyo ba to wear a polo shirt or long sleeves? Okay, thank you so much. Next, how about now? What do you prefer to drink? Kayo ba ay mas ma-iced coffee or milk tea? Okay, type in the chat. Okay, and next, are you a dog person or a cat person? What do you prefer more, cat or dog? Okay, thank you so much for all our viewers who are answering online. Thank you, thank you. And lastly, where do you prefer to stay? The city or the country or the province? Sige, saan po natin gustong magstay? Okay, and that's the last. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for participating in our simple game. And looking at what we have done, we could see that making decisions and solving problems are actually two key areas in our lives, whether we're at home or in school or at work. And whatever we're doing and wherever we are always faced with countless decisions and problems, both small and large, every single day. And many decisions or problems are so small that we may not even notice them. Di na natin sila napapansin. But there are also instances when we are being called to make big and bold decisions, especially in this phase of our lives. Yan. Dito sa phase of your life na you feel more compelled to make decisions regarding the career that you will pursue and the path that you will take, especially after graduation. Ayan. And so today, for roughly 20 minutes, we're going to try to talk about problem solving and decision making and somehow get the gist of how it is done and why it actually matters. So there is this alleged historical event in British occupied India, and according to this story, there was a severe cobra plague in Delhi at the time, which the British governor wanted to combat by offering a reward on each cobra that will be killed. So anyone or any resident who will bring with them a dead cobra, they would receive a small reward from the government. So at first, the concept worked very successfully because a lot of cobras were killed. But however, when the people realized that this actually could be a very profitable business, what they did was they started to breed cobras at home and then they wanted to be able to collect and then gain more and more rewards from the government. So, when the British governor found out about this, he then decided to cancel the whole reward system, which then led to the breeders releasing their cobras because they realized that there's no more reason to pet those cobras. So in the end, there were even more cobras in the city than they had before. And the governor's originally bright idea had ultimately only worsened the whole situation in the city. And why do we need to know about this? Bakit ba kailangan nating pag-usapan to? Because this very story and this very origin of the Cobra effect reminds us that it is very important that we think through the decisions that we make and the ways that we approach problems because our decisions, the decisions that you will make, they have the power to affect not only the course of your lives but also of those who are around you, especially those you love and you value the most. That is why it's time to decide. So, at this point of the presentation, we'll try to navigate on the different steps and things that we need to understand when we are making a decision in the hope of solving problems and challenges that come our way. And so, we're going to talk about them using an acronym. And the acronym that we will be using is DECIDE. Ayan, para hindi nyo makalimutan. So, DECIDE. And DECIDE stands for define the problem, explore alternatives, contemplate on the alternatives, identify the best choice, deliver the solution, and lastly, evaluate the results. Okay, so we're going to talk about each of them. And the first step is define the problem. So to solve a problem, we have to first define it. We must first determine what the problem actually is. Ano ba talaga yung problema? Because there are times when we think we know what the problem is, but we have to really make sure to check it out and check it deeper. Because sometimes then it's so easy to focus on symptoms and not the causes. So this very first step is very important because defining what the problem is, this will actually be the one to shape the next actionable steps that you're going to make in the whole decision making process. So remember that before we get to the finish line, we have to first know where the starting point is. We have to first know ano ba yung problema that we want to solve? Ano ba yung kailangan nating pagdesisyonan? Anong challenge ba yung need natin na i-face? Kaya we always start by answering the question, what and where are we now? What is my current situation? And just like now, 'di ba? If you would be asked, ano ba yung isang bagay sa buhay niyo ngayon that calls for a decision? And yes, naririnig ko ang inyong mga puso. Maaring the question now is, where should I work? What kind of work do I want to pursue after college? So, if you're asking it now, welcome to step number one. You're in step number one now, and it's time for you to go to step number two. And step number two is explore alternatives. So, what we have to do may seem obvious to address the problem in front of us. Well, occasionally it's true, but most times it's so important to first identify possible alternatives. Dapat meron tayong mga options. And this is where the creative side of problem solving and decision making really comes in. So just like with you deciding on which company to work in after graduation. So here, you'd have to be open to available options around you. And mahalaga din dito that you do brainstorming. So brainstorming with some people in your life can really be such an excellent tool for identifying potential alternatives. Like you have your safe and trusted friends. You also have your mentor or a professor or teacher that you feel so close with. And of course, with your parents and families as well. So think of as many possible possibilities together. So pag-isipan nyo and you process together, ano kaya yung options na nakalatag sa akin at this phase of my life? And then you're going to write down these ideas, even if they may seem somewhat zany or offbeat on first impression. Just keep the ideas coming because, again, sometimes really silly ideas can contain the germ of a superb solution or decision. Well, honestly, generating a number of different options may seem to make your decision making process more complicated at first. But the act of coming up with options and alternatives forces you to dig deeper and actually to look at the problem from different angles and perceptions or perspectives. So makikita nyo siya na ano ba yung perspective ng iba't ibang mga tao sa decision nito or sa option na ito. And it would actually help you to make better decisions in the future. Too often kasi people move too quickly into making like a choice without really considering all the options. So spending more time searching for alternatives, for options, and then weighing their consequences can really pay off. So dito sa step na to, just enjoy the process. Just enjoy the step of the process and you'll be surprised that a lot of discoveries and realizations really await you. So that's step two. Next, we have step three, and that is contemplate on the alternatives. So for this third step, this is once a number of ideas have been generated. So you need to assess each of them to see how effective they might be in addressing the problem or the target decision. So when you're satisfied that you have a good selection of realistic alternatives already, it's time for you to evaluate the feasibility, the risks, and the implications of each one of them. Just always remember that almost every decision involves some degree of risk. You'll need a structured approach for assessing these threats and evaluating the probability of adverse events occurring and what they might cost to manage. And most importantly, you'll also want to examine the ethical impact of each option and how that might sit with your personal and organizational values. It's so important that when you are contemplating with options, always remember that it is very important to really think of each option and really think through how will this particular option sit with my personal values, my personal convictions as a person. So for example, when you start contemplating on the best career path and the companies to work in, you have to make sure to examine each of the options that you have and see how these companies and these career paths go side by side with your views, your beliefs, your convictions and your values as an individual. So that's number three. And step number four, after you've done contemplating on all the options and alternatives that you have, it's time to identify the best choice. So this is the choice that will help you attain the goal that you have in the first place. This is the choice that will help you feel closer to your values and your convictions in life. This is the choice that will make you a better version of yourself, not only for yourself, but also for others as well. But we have to keep in mind that it's not always easy. There are a lot of moments na, bakit po for me, this is the best choice. Pero some circumstances of my life or some situations in my life do not permit me to choose the best choice. Like, for example, I have this friend and he has a regular job, but he has this big passion for photography. And for the longest time, he couldn't pursue this passion because he also has to provide for his family. So, what he did was he decided to first take the job that he's trained to do, and then after some time on the side, he works for what he's passionate about. So may moments na he would go to the office 8 to 5, and then after work he'd go to gigs. So meron siyang freelancing work of being a photographer. So that way, makikita natin that he can do what he's trained to do for him to provide for his family and his loved ones, while he's also working on that one thing that fuels him up and sets his soul on fire. So makikita dito na, for me, this is the best choice muna. Pero dahil may alam ako na bestest choice for me, I will use this time to hone my talents, to hone my skills. And then if that time comes na okay na yung lahat, that is the time for me na I would make time for that one thing I'm passionate about, aside from the work that I'm trained to do. So there will be a lot of times when we'd feel like our best choice won't be the best choice for that very time and for that very phase of our lives. And pursuing things that truly fuels up our souls may not always be easy to attain. But then again, this is a process. Things may not happen overnight, but we can always work each day to work towards our best choice. So always remember that making a choice is a risk. But at the end of the day, you just have to pick the best choice with that understanding that even if things won't work the way that you want them and you expect them to be, you have to be accountable enough in embracing everything that goes with the choice that you have made and you have chosen. So, in the choices that you make, you have to be the first person to believe that what you have chosen is the best for you. At kailangan mo yon panindigan. Okay. And for the step 5, yan. So this is it. This is the part where you trade in your papers, all your cards in, and this is the delivering the decision phase. This is the time you'd finally say yes to an employer, or say yes to a career, or say yes to an opportunity. And this specific step might be nerve wracking and scary at first, but again, remember, make every decision with this full conviction that no matter what happens, you take something beautiful and life changing from the choice you make. So if you'd feel na baka sayang lang, baka manghinayang lang ako in the end, just remind your heart that no, whatever happens, I'm going to take something beautiful from this experience. So remember that not everyone would always agree and be supportive with the decision that you will make, but delivering a solution and making a decision require you to be, again, the first person to be confident about this step that you are taking. So remember, paninindigan is the key. And here, this is the phase where you finally complete the puzzle. Ayan. And lastly, whenever you have implemented a decision, of course, you need to evaluate the results. So the outcomes may give valuable advice about the decision making process that you have done, or the appropriateness of the choice that you have made, or the implementation of the decision making process itself. So here, you just have to take note of everything that you have experienced and learned in every step of the way, so that next time when you'd be bound to make bigger life decisions, you have tools with you. So, everybody, for everything that you will experience now, sa lahat ng bagay na mararanasan nyo at this very phase of your life, especially now that you're just beginning with finding your own path to your dream job, please, please hold on to all these learnings and all these experiences because you will learn a lot from them. You will know what to do next time. And here, you just have to know that kailangan ko pang ipagpatuloy because after all these, I will know and learn more what to continue doing next time, what to stop doing next time, and of course, what to do even better next time. And just feel free to also have conversations with your safe people that you have talked to nung mga mas naunang phase ng decision making process. So, kausapin niyo lang sila and allow them to help you to process things para magkasama niyo ding makikita ano ba yung mga ari niyong napulot from the experience. So, these are the 6 steps of making a decision. And kung makikita natin, this is a cycle. Remember that the steps that we have talked, the steps that we have known about the making decision is a cycle. So this is a cycle. So when you're already on the step 6 and you have evaluated that there are a lot of things that you need to change or improve, remember that you can always go back to step number 1 and you can run the process again. You know, there is always a second chance and you absolutely do have, this chance, this second chance to make this a chance of a lifetime. Okay? Okay, so some choices are actually ordinary, like what time to wake up, or what to eat for lunch, or what drink to have, or what color of polo to wear when you're meeting with your friends, or what bag to use when you meet them. But there are also some which are extraordinary, like what college to attend, what city to live in, who to marry, what career to pursue, and which company to apply to. You know, we people make decisions every day of our lives. Like today, you have made the decision of joining us here and to listen to these topics. Just think about how many choices you have made just in the last hour. Marami ba? Yes. And everybody, remember that every action is a choice, every action is a decision. So sometimes your choices and your decisions feel pretty limited. Maybe you were just here because you were led by your professor to attend and join na inutusan ka lang or this is a requirement. But thinking about it, in the end, we have a choice. Like you made the choice to follow your professor and join us this afternoon. So, ang tanong ngayon ay why do we make decisions? So, we make decisions because we're bound to. We are created to make decisions. And we're always called to make decisions because we are human beings. We value reason, sometimes not. But again, every action is a decision. And we always have our reason, we have our why. That's why we keep making decisions. So earlier, diba, we talked about the story of where the Cobra effect originated and how our decisions could shape and affect our lives. And the truth is, you yourself make decisions each day. You make small and big decisions. You're now in that phase of your lives that you're called to make more critical decisions, especially about your career and about your future. And on moments that you feel scared and afraid to make a decision and take a leap, remember that it is in moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Remember, everybody, that you have the power to shape the life that you aspire to have. Again, Thank you very much. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat at mag-ingat po tayo. And before I end, again, we are the Medical City Clinic and feel free to explore on our wide array of careers and opportunities for you. Ayan. So we are here to be with you as partners in your decision-making process. So just explore. And of course, you may visit at www.jobs180.com/, the Medical City Clinic. Again, thank you so much and good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you for that, Miss Jackie. So now we
Thank
give the
you.
audience the floor. If you have questions, guys, you can put it in the comment section. Ayan. So, ma'am, habang nag-iisip sila ng questions nila, meron na po akong prepare. So,
Okay.
ito
By
po.
the way, Ma'am Shari,
Yes.
joining us is also Sir
Hi,
Justin.
hi,
Yeah.
hi, sir. Hi, ayan. So, maybe you can help out with the questions. Ito po. So, first question. Do you believe that decision making skills are somewhat innate to a person? Like may mga
Mm,
tao talagang magaling sa decision making skills. Meron ding mga tao na hindi masyado magaling. And they will claim this or aaminin naman nila to. Or do you believe that this skill is something that you can hone throughout time, that you can
okay.
develop throughout your life experiences and so on? Yan.
Okay.
Miss
Thank you so much. Well, for me, tulad ng sabi natin, decision making is a skill, and a skill is something that we could learn. This could be honed. So naniniwala ako na every person would have the capacity and the ability to actually hone their skills on decision making. And ang mahalaga lang dito is for them to embrace the whole process, to embrace everything that they would learn from all the experiences that they would have. And yeah, naniniwala ako na lahat tayo kaya natin na mas galingan at mas tulungan yung sarili nating pagalingin pagdating sa pagdedesisyon. Because again, yung mga experiences, yung mga bagay na natutunan natin along the way habang tumatanda tayo, lahat yon would actually be ingredients for us to be better makers in the process. So yeah.
Ayan, thank you for that, ma'am. How about you, Sir Justin? Eto naman po, iba namang question ko, sir. Do you believe na lagi po kasi nalang kino-compare, uy, mga bata pa, hindi marunong sa buhay, ganyan. So, do you sumasang-ayon po ba kayo? Like, do you agree that the older generations have like better decision-making skills because they've had little or limited exposure to what we have now? Like, we have Google, social media, etc. As opposed to the younger generation who have all the options, all the alternatives, all the choices that they could possibly have. Sa tingin nyo, sir, what's the
Okay. I think experience do really play a factor on the decision making. It gives you that array of options, I think, and background on how to actually proceed with the decision making. But we should always take in consideration that although for younger generations, they have limited experience. They have their own experiences then as well, so they'll be able to manage and have strategize their own way into the decision making process then as well. So from before siguro yung mga older generation have quite some I think more traditional approaches like technology ang advantage naman ng younger generation, which I think those adaptive techniques present on various ages in life would play a factor then in the decision making process, definitely.
Ayan. So, sa mga nag-iisip dyan, kung iniisip nyo, ay ano ako, tanga ako sa pag-ibig, mga ganyan. Maano pa yan? Magbabago pa yan. Gagaling din kayo in the next few years. Ayan. Next question, sir. To the both of you po. meron po tayong parang sinasabi na may mga different kinds of people. Pag naharap sila sa problem, merong solutions oriented at meron ding cost oriented. So,
Mhm.
meron yung cost oriented, tatanungin niya muna bakit nangyari to? Bakit may ganitong problema? Pero yung solutions oriented, tatry niya na i-solve agad yung problem. So, in your case po, where in the polar in the polar scale po, saan kayo nagli-lean? Would
Mhm.
you rather be more solutions oriented, or would you rather hire someone who is solutions oriented or someone who is cost oriented? We can take turns.
Okay. Okay, I'll have it first. Okay. Siguro ako personally kasi, I see myself as, I'm a cost-oriented person. Like, yun yung una ko talagang tanong, parang, bakit siya nangyari or saan 'to nanggagaling? And for me, parang both naman has its fair share of pros and cons. And for me, siguro yung isang advantage na nakikita ko dito is yung pagiging cost-oriented gives me a better, understanding of where people are coming from or saan ba nanggagaling yung particular behavior. And feel ko, wala namang kailangan na, ito dapat or ito dapat. Parang at the end of the day, what matters is paano ba natin nagagawa yung particular, um, characteristic na 'to natin or quality natin, paano ko ba 'to nagagamit to better serve other people or to better actually live out the purpose that I believe I have. So, yeah.
We have a question from the crowd. Let us try to answer. From
Okay.
Sharina May Ramos. Sa decision making po, okay lang po ba mag-fail no mag-fail? And it is true po ba na doon mo lalo makikilala ang self mo? Sir Justin, maybe you can answer this.
Okay, all right. Definitely, if ever failure is part of the experience, that's something you should really understand. It doesn't, sabi nga earlier dun sa discussion, it always your decision making always has risks. And um, if ever, if ever that it fail, you should always make sure to look into alternative solutions. Actually, that would lead me to my answer on your previous question, Miss Sherry. Actually, solution-oriented naman ako. So, we should really focus then on being able to adapt on those decision makings or those failures that you had. And on your last question, true po bang doon mo makikilala lalo ang self mo? Yes, definitely. It would give you that understanding how you fail, why you fail, and it would give you understanding how will you be able to turn the tables, if ever for future decision makings that you'll be doing.
Ayan. So, thank you for that. And thank you then for Sharina for sharing your query with the crowd. Ayan. So, siguro po last na lang po because mixed po yung audience natin today. So, we have college students, we have graduating students, we have senior high school, and we also have people from junior high watching. Ayan, may nakita kasi ako mga grade 7, grade 8. Ano po, as early as now, like ano po yung pwede niyong i-share sa kanila na pwede na nilang i-prepare since mahaba pa yung ano nila, ilalakbayin nila, mahaba pa yung journey nila. So, coming from people in the industry na po, who have been there for years, what can you advise to these young people?
Okay. Siguro sa'kin, especially those, youngsters there na medyo mahaba pa nga yung time for them, one thing that I would want them or I would want to remind them is to just be open to learning. Hayaan lang nila yung sarili nila na ma-experience yung mga bagay-bagay and pulutin yung lahat ng puwedeng pulutin, basahin lahat ng puwedeng basahin, pag-aralan yung lahat ng puwedeng pag-aralan because, at the end of the day makikita nila na kahit gaano kasimpleng babasahin or kahit gaano kasimple lang yung pinakinggan nila or yung conversation that they had with this particular person, meron silang matututunan and that very simple learning that they've got in the process, magiging malaking tulong siya sa pagtanda nila. kapag humarap sila with different kinds of decisions that will compel them to make decisions not only for themselves but for those na part ng life nila. So yeah, just be open to learning.
Alright, thank you. Ayan. Um, ito ma'am, pumasok lang po from Alaya. Kasi rehash na po ito nung diniscuss nyo a while ago. So, decision making po, ano po ang dapat gawin, lalo na po if hirap ka makapag-decide. So, based on Miss Jackie's presentation a while ago, ano yung gagawin natin? Ito ay, kung meron
Albe.
kung nakinig kayo kanina, ano yung unang gagawin? 'Di ba ano? 'Di ba i-explore yung problem? Hanapin natin yung problem. Ayan. So, yun yung una nating gagawin kapag mahirapan tayo mag-decide. Ayan. So, to Sir Justin and Miss Jackie, now we give the floor po. If you have openings, I know you mentioned it a while ago, like last plug na lang po for your for career opportunities.
Ayan, so again, feel free to just go to, ayan, para since partner natin ng Jobs 180, feel free to visit www.jobs180.com/the Medical City Clinic, or you might want to visit our site para mas makita nyo ano yung openings namin and the things that we do in the company. So yeah, we look forward to knowing more of you.
All right, so there you have it. Thank you, Miss Jackie and Sir Justin, for lending us your time this afternoon. We know it was a very fruitful session with the crowd from CCA and WCC. So, on behalf of my team and on behalf of the schools, thank you so much. And we wish we can invite you for future sessions in other universities. Din po. Thank you
Sure.
po,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Take care, everybody.
Happy Friday. Happy
Bye.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy weekend. Ayun. Ayan. So now, if Sir Kim is available, because he was unable to join the presentation a while ago. Ayan. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. So,
Hi.
ito yung earlier speaker natin kanina, guys. So, today, at this juncture, at this point, if you have questions about resume or applications, pwede nyo nang ilagay sa comment section. Pero syempre, mauna ako. So, sir, ang una kong tanong ay, pwede ba akong mag-apply sa mga positions na hindi ako qualified? Like, for example,
Pwede ba mag-apply sa positions na hindi qualified
oo,
o
hindi
hindi
qualified.
pasok sa course?
Hindi pasok sa course. Like, for
Okay.
example, kasi di ba may mga nakalagay, experience
Correct.
required 2 years.
Mm.
Or di kaya, graduate ako ng education, pero yung ina-applyan kong
IT.
position ay, ewan ko,
IT, graphic
something.
design,
Yeah.
ganyan.
So,
Okay.
would that be possible? Would that be okay?
Okay, definitely the answer is yes. You can explore to as many companies as you want to apply to, regardless of your course, regardless kung may experience or wala. Using your resume link, yan ang advantage. No? Una, pag nagbigay ng resume link mo, tapos hindi ka pa qualified, for as long as the company later on will have future vacancies, and on your end naman, you'll be updating your profile, then pwede ka makonsider sa mga iba pang positions ng company na in-applyan mo na. Now, speaking of experience, based on the applicants that I've encountered, kahit na walang connect sa course mo, yung ina-applyan nyo, as long as gusto mo, alam mo talaga yung pinapasukan mo, na-research mo yung company, and it is part of your passion na gusto mo mag-pursue nung goal na yun, ng career na yun, then I recommend, I totally support you. Submit your information and explore and apply.
Ayan. Thank you for that, sir. Next question naman po would be common red flags sa mga employers po.
Common red flags sa mga employers, you mean for job seekers to watch out for, no? So,
Yes.
number one, be careful of those companies who are fly-by-night, yung mga siraulong kumpanya na take advantage ng mga aplikante. So, ano yung mga telltale signs nila? O para sa akin, ito yung mga some of the things that you have to be careful, no? One, if the company is asking for payment, no, or soliciting payment for whatever reason, lalo na kung local and direct hiring yan, dapat walang mga bayad-bayad na ginagawa. Kasi kung local and direct hiring, dapat diretso dun sa company. Okay? Another red flag for me is if the company does not have a website. No? Meaning, if they just give you a Facebook link to check for their company, Facebook is not really it is a site where you can check information, pero hindi siya talaga formal representation ng company, na website talaga ng company. So that is another red flag for me. Another one is if the company does not have a physical location in the Philippines. Though I'm not saying pag wala sila sa Pilipinas ay illegal sila. Hindi ko sinabing ganoon. I'm just saying na if they don't have a physical office in the Philippines, then you think twice. Kasi just in case lang na meron kayong kailangan na ireklamo later on or ilapit kay Dole, paano kanila matutulungan? Saan nila pupuntahan yung kumpanya kung wala sila dito sa Philippines? 'Di ba? So, yeah, those for me are, in summary, yan yung mga red flags, no? For those companies. So, ingat kayo. Ingat po yung mga job seekers.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. So, confirm lang po namin, sir, for the benefit of our audience. Pag sa Jobs 180 website po kami nag-apply, automatic po. Lahat po ng mga companies na yun, screened and
Oh,
legit,
yes.
legit na po
Yes.
siya.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Pag nag-apply sila, wala na silang problemahin. Sure yun na legit yung mga companies na yun. Because they can't
Explain
post.
natin.
They can't
Lahat ng
post
companies,
walang documents.
correct. Lahat ng companies po na na nakita niyo sa jobs180.com, ginawan na po ng Jobs180 ng due diligence to ask for the legal documents nila. Okay, para po yung mga legal requirements sa Philippine laws para sila ay makapag-operate dito sa Philippines. So, example, yung mga SEC, registration, company profile, BIR documents sila. So, meron tayo noon. Now, just in case yung mga audience na nakikinig ngayon, if you encounter malpractices or companies na medyo, feeling nyo hindi tama yung treatment sa mga aplikante, feel free to raise that concern to us. Send nyo sa info@jobs180.com. Okay? info@jobs180.com so we can assist you. Rest assured, yung mga companies na, kagaya na sinabi ni Ma'am Shari, rest assured na yung mga companies na to, lahat po na nasa jobs180.com, na-screen na po natin. Okay, ayun. So, yeah, kampante kami na lahat sila ay legit companies.
Okay.
Yan po.
Okay, so sigurado ba kayo guys, wala na kayong question? So if meron kayong hihiya kayong magtanong, maglagay sa comment section. You can send us a PM on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and we'll try to
Yes.
answer it. Ito humabol to. From John Paul Manog, pwede po ba mag-apply ang student sa isang trabaho na gusto niya kahit wala po siyang experience sa work na yun?
Yes, Sir John Paul. You can apply to anything, no? You can apply, sabi ko kanina, kahit walang experience, kahit hinahanap pa ng kumpanya, may experience na aplikante, kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply dun sa position na yun sa company na yun, I strongly recommend that you just submit your resume link and you update it from time to time. Diba? Take the risk na baka ikaw ay makonsider din dun sa position na yun or sa ibang mga position nung company na yun. So just to answer your question, yes. Definitely yes. Pwede.
Here, sir, from Artley Guevara, ano pong mga work abroad usually ang nalilink sa mga nag-a-apply po sa inyo?
Okay, just to be clear, no, when you want to apply for opportunities outside of the Philippines, you have to course it through a POEA licensed agency. Kami po sa jobs180.com, we do not process your application para ipadala sa ibang bansa. Okay? Ang ginagawa lang namin is we're advertising yung mga companies na meron pong POEA license to advertise ng mga positions na pinapadala nila sa ibang bansa. Okay, so if you are exploring for opportunities outside of the Philippines, you have to make sure lang that the company you're applying to is a POEA license agency. Yan po. Okay? So kami naman, we just do our due diligence. Kung meron kayong makitang company na sa Jobs 180, lahat yon ay na-screen out naman namin. I hope na-answer ko yung tanong ni RT.
Paulo Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay lang po ba mag-apply for managerial position after graduating or accomplishing the college degree? Or kailangan pa po ng SMT? Ano ba yung SMT?
Okay. So, as a fresh graduate,
kasi I'm sure they will need to hear this. Yung sagot niya.
Sige. Alam mo, wala naman pong bawal sa pag-a-apply at sa pag-explore at sa baka sakali tayo, 'di ba? Pagka fresh grad, mag-apply tayo for a managerial position. Pero you have to take note that there are also other applicants that the company will also be screening or be evaluating, which probably will have more experience than other applicants na baka mas i-consider nila, especially if it's a managerial position, because it takes some level of experience, diba, to be a manager, example, diba, may certain training sila na daanan para napunta sila sa ganong pwesto. Pero para lang sagutin yung tanong mo, wala naman pong bawal, no? Pwede tayong mag-apply, pwede tayong mag-explore. Yan, just set your expectations then. Now, if you need to do some training, maybe the SMT is short for managerial training, no? Yes, you can go through management trainee muna na position para slowly you get to build your experience and you get to be familiarized dun sa mga functions and responsibilities ng isang manager. That's so yes, you can go through managerial training. Yes.
Okay. Enlighten natin si Paolo, sir. Sir Paolo, medyo dangerous yung ganito. Ewan ko, for me, medyo dangerous yung ganitong line of thought. If you think that after college, you earned or you, ano ba tawag, you deserve managerial position. So, syempre, sa mga bagay-bagay, kailangan we start from the first step. So, entry level usually yung nakukuhang positions for fresh graduates or newly grads or hindi na fresh, newly grads, ganyan. So, para lang may clarification on your part po. Ayan. So, again, sabi ni Sir Kim, hindi naman bawal. Pero syempre, as fresh grads, we start from the bottom of the ladder. Ayan. Okay, next we have Ms. Sharina May Ramos. Nag-expire po ba yung website? Yung account.
Yung resume link, I think. Walang expiry, no? Perpetual po ang resume link ninyo. Kung nakalimutan mo, kung matagal ka na nag-login, just login again. Kung nakalimutan mo yung iyong password, lagay mo lang yung registered email na ginamit mo and then click forgot password. You'll be getting the new password in your registered email. Kung nakalimutan mo yung mga details, just email us sa info@jobs180.com for assistance. No? So we can help you out.
Ayan. So, thank you. Ayan, ang galing ng mga questions from the crowd. It shows na nakikinig talaga kayo and that you're critiquing yung mga small details na yan. So, it makes us feel good. Ayan. So, thank you. Sir Kim, wala na po tayong oras.
Okay.
Wala na po tayo sa next speaker.
Sige, maraming salamat.
Thank you, Sir Kim.
Bye-bye.
Ayan. Okay, so next up, we have the speaker from IQEQ for the topic Building an Innovative Mindset, Ways to Deliver Results Through Unconventional Ways. This will be presented by Sir Erwin, Ekong, Head of Human Resources. Sir Erwin is a human resource professional with more than 30 years cumulative experience in various industries, both local and multinational organizations. He is an HR generalist specializing in the fields of talent sourcing, recruitment, assessment, learning and development, rewards, labor relations, data management, timekeeping and payroll, business partnering, and currently, Sir Erwin is IQEQ's Head of Human Resources. He is responsible for developing and executing human resource strategies in support of the overall business plan and strategic direction of the organization. Outside of work, Sir Erwin enjoys mountaineering, biking, contact sports, and photography. So let's welcome to our stream, Sir Erwin. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Oh, good
Sir,
morning. I'm good. Thank you.
I believe you have a short video to play before you start your presentation.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's play the video first. There you go. Sir Erwin, can we test your screen share? There you go. Ayan.
Yep.
So, sir, it's up. So, I leave it to it and I'll be back for the Q&A in 20
All
minutes from
right.
now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'm here to talk about building an innovative mindset, so delivering results through unconventional ways. And when I was asked to do this, and knowing who the audience would be, mostly students and a few professionals already, it's difficult, to come up with defining and understanding an innovative mindset. Uh, if I should ask you, what do you think it means? Then it will be a longer conversation. But for the purpose of this audience, let's try to look at how I can deliver this and make you understand what innovative mindset is. Okay. So what do we intend to cover in this brief presentation? It's defining what an innovative mindset means. What elements does it have? When is it necessary? Where is it applicable? And hopefully I can show you some examples of how it works and see how can you come up or create or enhance your innovative mindset. All right. So if you go to Google or a dictionary and key in innovative mindset, it's broken down into two. And showing right in front of you, it says new methods or advanced and original way of doing things. For a person, it's coming up with ideas, being creative in the way you think. And mindset, it's a way of thinking. So if you combine both, it's being revolutionary, groundbreaking ideas or thoughts, game changing discoveries, and even as simple as elevating yourself or something, a process, a tool to the next level. So it's a combination of a number of things if you look at it. But everything starts from the mind, right? So is it something inborn? Is it something that you learn? Earlier the speaker earlier was talking about problem solving, and all of us are born with that ability to solve problems. It's just a question of, are we talking about simple problems or complex problems, right? So it's the same thing with innovative mindset. We are innovative if you look at it from the time that we have cognitive understanding of things around us. Isipin nyo nung maliit kayo, you have set of toys, and then you interchange some of the components, or you repurpose, let's say, your toy soldiers into, I don't know, statues, or you repaint something. Okay. Or instead of using playing cards for its purpose, you use it to build boats or planes, right? So we have that ability to be innovative. That's our creative side that tells us how to do things. So in the world of employment, corporate world, is it important? It is important, especially now that things are moving faster. That every now and then new discoveries in technology happens quite, quite overnight sometimes. Okay, so what else can we say about innovative mindset that you would understand and hopefully have an understanding on how it could affect you in your studies and in your work or even in your life? What does it mean? Innovative mindset, one way of looking at it, is a way of thinking outside the box. When I say thinking outside the box, this normally applies to situations wherein you might be in a dilemma or in a problem, or you're trying to solve something, or you want to figure out something, or you have an objective to achieve, and you're not sure how to get there, or there's something missing. Most often it's just thinking out of the box that will require you to see things differently. Another way is you challenge the status quo and talk about innovative mindset. When you say challenging the status quo, it means you want to elevate something into something better. Sometimes people think that when you say challenge the status quo is you become a rebel or you want to do things your way. In anything, it's always the appropriateness of your act or the appropriateness of your intention that's important. So if you looked at the presentation that was shown prior to me speaking, we're looking for accountants, three levels of accountants. And anyone here who's taken accountancy or worked with anyone who is in the sphere of accountancy, everything is set, right? You follow regulations, you follow statutory requirements. You cannot change things because these are bound by law. But in everything outside of that, as long as it is within compliance, as long as it's within acceptable standards, you can change things, especially if your objective is, let's say, being efficient. Or in the world of business, it drives more, it impacts our revenue or our margins. In other words, challenging the status quo to improve yourself can be a habit that will benefit not only yourself, but also the organization that you're with. Alright. Another is looking for icebergs. So for the new generation, you might be wondering, anong iceberg? Wala naman iceberg dito sa Pilipinas. And even if you've gone out of the country, you've gone to the United States or in Europe, you see icebergs when you travel. But why do you have to look out for icebergs? Before the advent of radar or sonar, and if you're familiar with what happened to the Titanic, it was hit by an iceberg. During that time, you need to have visual sight of icebergs to evade them. So going back to Titanic, they saw the iceberg late and it didn't give them enough time to react. And that's why it got hit and it sank. So metaphor like looking out for icebergs in the context of an innovative mindset is how do we prepare ourselves for anything that we are not familiar with or might blindside us. So it's similar to challenging the status quo. It's mostly around looking at ways of being ready. All right. So in the world that I'm in, doing HR work, different industries, these are the three things that I see as the common drivers of innovation. Sorry. All right. I'm not sure. Okay, I know this might sound boring, but I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the story of the Gordian knot. And this is about Alexander the Great. The Gordian knot was said to have prophesied that anyone who can untangle the knot will become the ruler, the king of Asia. And this has been a puzzle, a mystery for hundreds of years until Alexander, at the start of his reign, came across this, knew about the prophecy, took out his sword and cut it. Another version is he just removed what was holding the knot and it was loosened. Therefore, it was unknotted. We all know that he became one of the greatest conquerors and emperors of the ancient worlds, right? So if you look at his approach, it was non-conventional. It was there for 100 years. People tried and understand it. It's simply because those who tried looked at it in a conventional way. An innovative mindset will look at it from different perspectives. All right. Just a caution when in terms of innovative mindset, because some of you might think, okay, when I graduate, I'll always challenge the status quo. I'll always try to improve things. I'll always find ways to warn what's ahead. Now, appropriateness of an innovative mindset is something that one must really be conscious about. First, you need to understand, is it inherent in you? Because not everyone will have that ability to see things that way. Look at what happened to Galileo. He had a very innovative mindset. He was way far ahead in terms of his generation. But at that time, the portion of history, most of his innovative thoughts were considered a heresy or bordering on lunacy. Diba? Nabansagan siyang may problema sa pag-iisip. Okay. And it was only after generations later that we see that his words were actually true, and some of our current uh, state is based on what he has said and discovered. All right. So if you're going to look at elements of an innovative mindset, in my experience, it revolves around these factors. There are more. There are a lot actually. But for me, number one would be confidence, experience, knowledge. Now, for the students, is their knowledge. And I wrote here, confidence is built on from experience, and experience fortifies your knowledge, and knowledge boosts your confidence. It's a circle. But when we talk about knowledge, what does knowledge mean? Is knowledge in terms of experience is knowing what to do, how to do it, and also knowing when you don't know, knowing when you need knowing when you need help, or knowing simply that certain things are beyond your scope. So how do you build that? I pointed here experience. Now, in the transfer of knowledge in anything, it is known that 10% is through formal learning, 20% is through mentoring, and the 70% is experience. Those students, you students in this webinar are going through the 10%. The moment you graduate, yes, you might think, and a question was posed earlier, fresh grad, can I apply for a manager role? If you maximize your 10%, true learning only happens if that is fortified with experience. Your experience will never be complete if no one would help you process. And that's the 20%. All right. So, in this particular case of innovative mindset, it's important that you are aware of what's happening. You learn from those experiences, you gain your confidence. Because you may have the right mindset, but if you miss out on one or two, you might end up being like, someone with just a crazy idea, right? I wrote here abstract reasoning and adaptive thinking. These are also inherent in us. And it's how you tap this that will enable you to see things differently. Key to innovative mindset is seeing things differently, and voicing them out. And that's why confidence is important. To give an example, in a multinational company with around 250,000 employees globally, they were practicing, or they were following a process that has been found to be effective for the past, if I'm not mistaken, 8 years already. No one was questioning it because it was very efficient, okay, or spot on in terms of what is required. And then here comes this manager who was looking at the process and noticed and observed a component of it and just said, shouldn't A be C and C be A? And just switching a process. He was laughed at first, but then he felt and he knew that it was something significant and raised it. And finally, when it reached the right people, they looked at it and realized that by switching those two processes, they gained more revenue by around 30% in the next 2 years. So was it just yung tawag natin na chamba? Or was it an innovative mind that saw something that changed what was already in place? So if I go back to the three, I would call it a little of thinking out of the box with those pair of eyes, and challenging the status quo, because he felt that this is significant, and that's where the confidence comes in. Okay. All right. Now, other elements could be creative curiosity. The more curious you are, the more you discover things, the more you piece together a number of things that would help you decide on certain things or understand certain things. Another is courage in taking risks. We all know that risks is a common occurrence in our lives, right? How many of you, well, I'm sure majority of you would know how to ride the bike, and none of those who knows how to ride the bike has never fallen. I mean, all of us, nagbike tayo at one point, nalaglag tayo, di ba? And that's the risk of riding a bike. Okay. Anyone here who tried to cook for the first time, the risk would be it's either sunog or undercooked. But because we go through that process of learning the hard way, it enables us to be more courageous in doing it better the next time around. And we absorb those learnings along the way. Okay. Resourcefulness. One thing that innovative people have is understanding certain components of any situation, what it is how should I say this? What is in front of them, what they have, and what they lack. So most often it's just a question of how do we get what we lack? How do we acquire what we need to complete the picture? Mhm. Understanding resourcefulness is very critical if you look at it not only in having an innovative mind, but in most problem solving situations. Okay. Some of you, I'm not particularly aware of your courses, but any of you who will go through business, the corporate world, you might be asked to read Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Now, it's not meant for you to go to war, but it's an application of how successful Sun Tzu was in his time as a general and moving that in the mind or in the corporate world. And it's one component of it is knowing the landscape because in times of war, you need to supply yourselves, you know the terrain wherein to best hide or set up your defenses or where to have an ambush. In the corporate world, that equates to human resources, equates to technology, equates to financial capability, and it might even be related to your processes. Do you have the right process in place? Okay. So, for an innovative mindset, understanding all of this will help you navigate yourself in any situation. Okay. So, when is it necessary? As mentioned earlier, it falls mostly in these categories. But the key element that I would like to highlight is when is it not necessary? You see, that's the tricky part when it comes to the mind. And all of us as being individual people with different personalities. If you look at the number of leaders in the world as against the population, it's a small, minute percentage of people who lead and are innovative. The rest are followers, so to speak, right? But I'll give you an example in terms of how the right mindset put together, regardless if you are a naturally born person with that ability or in your own small way contribute to the bigger picture. Uh, what comes to mind has always been flying. If there's any significant, huge change, or not change, but impact on human life, now it's the internet, but prior to the internet, I would say it was the flight of the history of flight. It was in the early 1900 that it was determined that we can fly by the Wright brothers, if you know your history. But then the next goal is what? Was what? How do we reach the moon? Okay. Now, the first person to land on the moon, an American, Neil Armstrong, people were thinking, oh, he must be a genius to be there. But if you look at the technology, you look at the minds that went behind in developing the spacecraft, the lunar module, the communications piece, making sure that oxygen is there. These were all innovative approach to a different environment. And they were able to do it in the 60s. Was it 60s or 70s? Right? Now, even private citizens can go to space, all because of an innovative mindset. But if you look at that team, not everyone had that gift. But in their own small way, they were able to add to something that created the bigger goal or objective. Right. So if you think that you are unable to have that innovative mindset, that's not true. Again, some do it better, others a little less, but everyone has that capability to be innovative in your own small way. But how do you harness it? I go back to the items that I mentioned earlier. Be conscious about it because that is something very important. Here are examples of through innovation by accident changed our lives. How the microwave was discovered, anesthesia, okay, and penicillin. Most of them were, if you know, were done out of was not really meant for that study, but as an offshoot of the project that they were in. So how can you build an innovative mindset? As mentioned earlier, change is a critical item, not just around us, but within us. We need to acknowledge that we need to change. A component of the innovative mindset is having that growth mindset. And that growth mindset is the concept wherein you will always absorb as much information and knowledge and understanding. It might be through your own experiences or through other people's experiences. Okay. You have to absorb and embrace the concept of continuous learning. All right. Now, for most of you, I think majority of the students would think, oh, when I graduate, hindi na ako mag-aaral. That is not true. Remember, that's just 10% of whatever success you want to happen out in the world. All right. And you will, what your professors are teaching, your teachers in elementary and even high school, it is all foundational in how or on how you will absorb more complex learnings and principles in life. All right. As mentioned earlier, you be curious, you be courageous. Okay. That creativity is something that you can enhance if you don't have it, but it is always there. Again, awareness of what you have or what you lack will help you be able to do something to enhance it. And sometimes it's not even a question of enhancing it. Sometimes it's just a question of collaborating with someone who has that gift or who has that ability. All right. Think big, because if you only think small, normally would just look what is in front of you. Going back to what was shared earlier, looking out for icebergs. Learn to look far ahead. All right. Navigate from afar and then plan based on where you are at the moment. All right. The last is be comfortable with discomfort. Now, what does that mean? Be comfortable with discomfort. Discomfort. By nature, human beings are born to follow certain order. We were born compliant in the way we are. In other words, there's a set of uh, how do you say it? Of routine is normal to all human beings the moment we are born. It's as simple as when you're hungry, you cry. When you're uncomfortable, you cry. When you're happy, you smile. When you're comfortable, you smile. Sometimes we laugh. And then it just gets more complicated. So that's why when people say that ang gulo nitong batang ito, siguro pinaglihi ito sa ganito. More often, it's the environment that dictated the personality of the person. But then at a certain age, when that awareness of who we are starts to be developed, we can determine what is right and what is wrong. Therefore, our behavior now is dictated by our knowledge of our values. Discomfort can be physical, it can be emotional, can be in the form of values or a set of norms. Therefore, it's how we think. And most often, an innovative person, just like Galileo, okay, was not comfortable saying that the world was round rather than flat because he knew people would say that he was crazy. Okay. But he still went out and said it. And as mentioned earlier, appropriateness is also important. The difference between the time of Galileo and now, people are more, how should I say this, open to differences. So key is creating relationships that will help you understand if you have the right, you know, right approach, you have the right mindset, you have the right idea. All right. But start small first in terms of how you develop your innovative mindset because it can be radical, and most radical ideas can be threatening because at the end of this way of thinking, you're actually driving change. The objective of an innovative mind is to drive change. Right? It's not to do the same thing over and over again. It's either doing it better, trailblazing something new, or fixing a problem. So it's an element of adapting to certain situations. Again, it's a process of change that starts in your mind. All right. So, how else can you achieve an innovative mindset other than what was mentioned earlier? For me, key is confidence. Build your confidence. All of this you can attain at gradually by immersing yourself with knowledge, surrounding yourself with people who can make you see things differently. Some of us will have a hard time handling this, but key again is just awareness. All right. Thank you. I know it was short. I hope it made sense. And I'm open to questions.
Thank you for that, Sir Erwin. Sorry, may dumaan na motorcycle. Ayan. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So to give you time for your to think about your questions, I'll go first. And sir, marami ako na listang question dito, sir. Ito, sir. Question number one. Do you believe that there are inherently smart people? Like, ano talaga, pinanganak talaga na matalino, magaling, ganyan. And do you believe that hard work can also get you there? Like, daig ba ng masipag ang matalino? What's your take on
Okay. If you notice, I come from a company whose name is IQ and EQ. Right. So extra ano siya, selling point. And I'm a psychologist by education. Okay. So you're asking if people are by innately born smart. The answer to that is yes. That's why we have geniuses like Albert Einstein. I mentioned Galileo. So you look at the IQ, if they're way up, they were born smart. Okay. They were born smart. In terms of population, very few are considered really smart. The rest is average. Okay. But to your next question, is hard work can hard work compensate for lack of that intelligence? The answer to that is yes. And my perfect example to that is when I was in college, one of my classmates whose IQ was bordering on below average. Okay. And we were wondering, bakit niya tinatanong yun? Clear naman yung explanation. Kasi tanong siya eh. If she didn't understand, she will ask. And if she didn't understand, she would read again. She was really diligent. She's now one of the top OB-GYNs in the Philippines. And she graduated with honors. IQ niya was just bordering on below average and average. All right. And I've seen in the workplace also people who are average, but because they have that determination, because they have that passion, okay, to succeed, and in relation to innovative mindset, they always had that ability to see things differently. They always end up higher and higher in whatever goal that they want to achieve.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you for answering that question, sir. Ayan, para sa mga audience natin yan. So, hindi naman porket hindi kayo magaling sa school, that's the end of it. Hindi pa yon. Hindi pa yun totoong laban. Ayan. Next question, sir. Do you get burnt out if you keep on practicing critical thinking, decision making, problem solving? Nakakapagod po ba mag-isip all the time? Nakakapagod po ba maging like matalino all the time if you keep on doing this, if you keep on practicing these things? And meron po bang like um, middle ground dito? Parang hindi ka naman lagi nag-iisip kasi parang napapagod ka na.
Okay. For me, it's how you define pagod. Diba? Now, in anything we do, if we do it repeatedly, it becomes second nature. Just like marathon. Tingin nyo yung mga nag-ultra marathon ng 50 kilometers, they were born na, diba? Easy. No. They had to train and sumakit din yung katawan nila. And those who are also studying, ilang ano yung term, sunog kilay ginawa nyo just to understand. Right? Research. And when the first question is, nakakapagod ba mag-isip, di ba? To think. Of course. And if you embrace it as part of your normal life, it becomes natural. Sanay na kayo mag-isip. Remember, talking about confidence earlier and being courageous, di ba? And you look at it from your experience. That experience is the one that will hone and enable you to not panic when everyone else is panicking. Kasi sanay ka na eh. Di ba? It becomes second nature. So it can be developed. Pero kung if you easily give up, then you never progress. So it will always be difficult for you. That's why you have to challenge yourself. Now, some are able to do it. I think majority can. Others will not. And if you look at the whole scheme of things, we need people who are okay na sila doon. Diba? Sometimes it's part of the whole picture. And you need the few who will pull them and push them to move forward. Okay. I hope it answers the question.
I like that take, sir. I like that take. No. Kumbaga, hindi naman nire-require na lahat magaling, parang ganun. Parang we also acknowledge the space of other people who would do better in other things, parang ganun. Ayan. Next question. In the Philippines, like people hate it when you're smart. Like, do you experience this, sir? Like, in this country, if matalino ka, edi ikaw na. Like, you always get those reactions. You propose an idea, you say something, but they will shoot you down because either they're jealous that the idea did not come from them, or they just hate it that it was you who came up with that
Mhm.
idea, or it was you who brought that up. So how do you deal with these reactions? Like, syempre, family, relatives, maybe in the office, edi ikaw na magaling, ganyan. So, how do you deal, and how do you like assert in some way, how do you assert your stand without causing conflict or
Any
any
friction.
whatsoever? Ayan.
Okay. Well, first, I think in the Philippines, we call it the crab mentality, right? Crab mentality. Even if it's an outstanding idea, hilahin ka pababa. I'm not really sure how that came about. I think it's got something to do with how we were colonized by the divide and conquer, right? But how do you be yourself in spite of that environment? I think it goes back to how confident are you. Look, when you talk about confidence, we talk about self-esteem, but a higher level is self-actualization, meaning you're confident of yourself. Hindi naman sa wala kang pakialam, pero you won't allow negative thoughts or anything negative that should affect you. Okay. So there's a certain level of maturity also that comes with it. Because how do you process it? Right? Kung didibdibin mo, eh, it will affect you. But if you take it for just as what it is, and you're confident na tama na may sagot ko, it helps you now also to navigate, iiwasan ko to, dito ko pupunta. I'll surround myself with positive people rather than negative people. We will never be able to change what people think and believe, right? So we focus on what is within our control. So it is our choice to gravitate to people who will make us comfortable, be more successful. Kasi if didikit ka doon, you might end up being like them, right? I guess it's also important that we have a very strong sense of our values, what is right and what is wrong. And I keep on telling people that's key element. Those who will look for work, that's one of the things that people will try to assess your values, your sense of values. Is it aligned to the values of everyone else? Do you have a good take of your values? And the next, growth mindset. Are you willing to push yourselves to be better at one point? Okay, and then to be consistent. So if you look at those three elements, you're always going and navigating towards the positive. People will always be there to meron at meron magpupuna, di ba? But how do we handle it? It's your choice. If you're going to be affected, this will happen. If not, you move. But sometimes you listen because sometimes there might be a grain of truth to what they're saying. Okay. So I think, again, it's within your control.
Ayan, thank you for that, sir. Eto, sir, last na lang po talaga. Uy, sa audience natin, pwede rin kayong magtanong. The floor is open to your questions. Baka meron din kaming mapulot from the crowd. Ayan. So, eto yung question ko, sir. For example, have you encountered like great thinkers or effective, highly effective people, um, good in critical thinking, good in problem solving, innovation, ganyan. But they have like they don't have a lot of people skills. Like they have trouble with collaboration.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
they struggle with teammates, kaya po,
Mhm.
teamwork, kaya hindi nila gusto 'yon. Um how can this be solved? Like ano po yung magandang solution dito? If magaling ka
Okay.
naman pero ang problem mo yung sa team mo, ganun.
Is it it's it bo- so this is a skill on relationship building on collaboration, di ba? But the core will always be the personality. And I tell supervisors and managers, when you manage, you don't just manage people, you manage personalities. So it's important that you understand personalities, right? And that's why, to your point, kung meron masama ugali, let's say, so una-una, I would say, nagka-problema yung recruitment, paano mo na-hire isang masama ugali? But if the person is already there, what are you going to do about it? And it happens every now and then. Key is giving feedback. Kasi for all you know, hindi alam ng tao na masama ugali niya. Okay. Akala niya okay lang. That's one. It's always important to give feedback and do it constructively in a way that the person will see it for what it is. It's not an attack on the personality. It's giving information on the effect of what his behavior is to others. Okay. Most people will realize, oh nga, no? Then ano yung intervention? If that person would still, ay hindi, kinakalaban mo ko, then it goes to a different route. It's a question of, is we're talking about values, is the person's value is aligned to that of the organization or the school or your friends, di ba? So, key has always been giving feedback. Sometimes the feedback should not come from you, but should come from someone else whom that person will listen more and avoid any more conflict. Okay. So most
Oh,
often that's the normal route when you're in that situation.
ayan. We have here a question from Jason Ogario. Smart is a general term. What is the difference of the process of thinking of these people who are quote unquote matalino and those who are average? Considering that sometimes, if not most of the time, parehas lang naman nagkakamali sa decision making. Ayan, sir. Sabi niya, ano daw po yung pagkakaiba sa thought process nila?
Okay. That's a hard question to answer because it boils down again to the personality, the intelligence framework of that person, the experience of that person. Kasi you might be smart but lacking experience, mas magaling pa yun, mas less smart sa'yo. And someone who's less smart but is exposed to a variety of experiences has more knowledge and understanding. Diba? And let me, well, you're a young generation, you'll probably understand this, but you can relate to what I will say. Most often, sasabihin nyo sa mga magulang nyo, ibang generation kayo, kaya mas magaling kami dito. Diba? Some of you, yung parents, hindi pa rin marunong ng certain gadgets, pero kayo kahit nakapikit. Okay. It doesn't mean they're not smart, but situationally, it's really different, right? So, in terms of, lahat tayo nagkakamali. Okay. And we react differently to our mistakes. And how we react will determine how do we make up for it, how do we resolve it. And I think it's not a question of just intelligence, but a number of things. So intelligence is more technical, but the approach, if it has impact to other people, because that requires interpersonal relationship, conflict resolution, di ba? So it's, remember, when you say smart, it's true, it's not just about the IQ, but that's the other side of it, the experience. And that's why for all the students, para akong tatay, no, makinig kayo sa mas nakakatanda sa inyo. It's because they have the experience. You don't have to go through the negative experience or bad experience that they've gone through. Learn from their experience. Sometimes, sige nga, ako nga rin, o di ikaw rin, bumagsak ka. But rather than learning it the easy way, you went through the hard way. And sometimes it's better that way. Okay. So I don't think I'll be able to, there's no direct answer to the question, but it's really an awareness that people are wired differently. And it's even if you're wired in the same meron kayong mga kapatid, pareho kayo ng pinanggalingan, same house, and yet different personalities. Eh what more, kapitbahay nyo, kabilang barangay, school. Right? But it's what is common among you that will gravitate you to each other, that you have a sense of similarity. All right.
Ayan, ang
Yeah.
galing, ang galing. Ako, to the crowd, salute. Ang ganda ng mga questions natin for this webinar. Ayan. So, thank you, Sir Erwin. Ayan. So, guys, if nahihiya kayo magtanong, pwede kayo mag-message sa Facebook namin para we can try to address it. For IQEQ, the link is scrolling on your screen. That's jobsready.com/IQEQ. So that's where you see all the vacancies and all the openings available at Sir Erwin's company. Ayan. So pwede na kayo mag-research ngayon kung ano mga position yung gusto nyo mapuntahan in the next few months or kapag ready na kayo mag-apply. Ayan. Sir Erwin, on behalf of my team and also on behalf of WCC and City College of Angeles, we thank you, sir, for lending your time and being here to share your knowledge with our audience, the young people from WCC and CCA. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sana ma-invite pa namin kayo, sir, sa iba pang universities. Ayan po. Thank you, Sir Erwin. Have a happy Friday. Happy weekend po. Ayan. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Ayan. So, thank you so much to our audience for participating. So for the closing remarks, please don't leave yet because we will be releasing the evaluation and attendance links. So for the closing remarks, may we welcome to the stream Ms. Carla G. Nimer, RPM, psychometrician for WCC Guimba, to give us the closing remarks.
Good day, everyone. Thank you so much to our speakers today, to the school, World City Colleges for the support for this webinar, to jobs180.com for making this webinar possible, and of course, to all participants. Truly, that we are blessed to be here today because we gained different knowledge and acquired new skills regarding career improvements shared by our intelligent speakers. We hope and pray that you will use the knowledge and skills you gain today in your study and especially in achieving goals in life. Someday, who knows, that one of you will be our speaker in this kind of webinar because you are already successful in your chosen career. Thank you, and don't forget to fill out the evaluation form posted. Once again, thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you for that, Miss Carla. So the links will be posted on the comment section so you can evaluate. So please don't forget to evaluate, guys. Please don't forget to fill out the evaluation links. So there's one for City College of Angeles, and there's also a different one for WCC Guimba. So please let us know if you have trouble filling up the form. If in case the forms don't work, you can do a screenshot as proof of your attendance with the date and the time today. So please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting next week for different universities. So if ever you found a topic that's interesting for you on our Facebook page, you can join those sessions and learn for free. Welcome kayo mag-join. So we also invite you to our job seeker community on Facebook. That's facebook.com/jobs180jobseekers. So we're slowly building it. Wala pang content, but we're getting there. So with that, our session ends today. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you in other webinars. No? So have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe.
Burn the midnight oil to seek and know and dream, to be the best we can be, born of love, compassion, passion and integrity. Oh, the light of truth and goodness brightly shines for all to see. We commit to the tasks before us, hand in hand with dignity, and the world will be changed forever when God calls His city to share with the world. City colleges called upon to serve and to care. We reach for the highest high, respected and admired. With pride we carry our name to the world, our mission we proclaim. Oh, the light of truth and goodness brightly shines for all to see. We commit to the tasks before us, hand in hand with dignity, and the world will be changed forever when God calls His city to share with the world. City colleges called upon to serve and to care. Oh, the light of truth and goodness brightly shines for all to see. We commit to the tasks before us, hand in hand with dignity, and the world will be changed forever when God calls His city to share with the world. City colleges called upon to serve and to care.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the USRN Build program where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations, and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine registered nurses to become US registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.